Saturday. The New Hampshire QSO party is 1600 Zulu to 2200 Zulu on the 16th, Saturday, and 1600 to 2200 on Sunday. New Jersey QSO party, 1600 Zulu on Saturday to 1600, to 0359 on Sunday. The Washington State Salmon Run contest, 1600 Zulu on Saturday to 0700 Zulu on Sunday, and 1600 to 2400 on Sunday. Wisconsin Parks on the Air, 1600 Zulu on Saturday, 1600 to 2300 Zulu on Saturday. North American RTTY Sprint, for those of you into the RTTY mode, 0 Zulu to 400 Zulu on the 17th. Those are just some of the contests on this weekend. For the whole list, see contestcalendar.com. Contestcalendar.com. They have a newsletter you can sign up for, and they'll send you that every week. That's all I have for news and announcements. Does anyone have anything they'd like to announce to the net? V3RWJ.
Victor Alpha 3 Echo Kilo Romeo.
Whoops, let me try that again. VA3EKR. Scott, go right ahead.
Chris and everyone on frequency, thank you for mentioning this number. I wanted to mention that, there doesn't seem to be that many people going, so I'm going to have to call in tomorrow and revise the estimates for the number of people. So I would really encourage you to come on out. It's a good time. So just send me an email if you could at Victor Alpha 3 Echo Kilo Romeo at gmail.com. And it's at 6 o'clock, and it's always been fun. I'll probably call them around noon to confirm the numbers. So I appreciate you RSVPing. So thanks very much, Chris, and back to you.
Thanks, Scott. Unfortunately, I can't make it, but definitely the next one. So yeah, if anyone's interested in going, please get a hold of Scott right away so he can give them an accurate head count. I also forgot to mention, Monday we had our first Zoom presentation organized by Leo. We learned all about a simple RF probe you can build to find any stray RF in your shack or on your coax. Do we have anyone else with announcements for the net, V3RWJ? Nothing heard. Any regular check-ins, that is people with comments, for the Burlington Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, please go ahead and give your calls phonetically. 3DGA, Dave Mobile. Victor Echo 3, India Tango Whiskey. Okay, got two there, V3ITW, and up first, VA3DGA, Dave. And thanks for that great presentation about field day last night. Hopefully that whet a few appetites for next year. I think you piqued some interest there. Go ahead.
Thank you, Net Control. Much appreciated. All I did was report the activity of the group. But anyway, I missed the first 5 minutes of the net. My apologies. I was scatterbrained. Did you manage to mention our new ham in the area and just another check-in. I was ever trying to help you get to your 4D check-in. V3RWJ, VA3DGA. Back to you, sir.
Thanks, Dave. Well, yes, I did mention Josh right at the beginning. But once again, Dave was contacted by Josh, who was interested in getting his license and had done self-study for it. This is our first contact with him, and he got 96 on the exam. And he is now Victor Echo 3 Yango. I messed up the call the first time too. Victor Echo 3 Yankee Tango X-ray. There we go. V3YTX in Dundas. So we look forward to hearing him on the air. Dave, do you know if he's joining Bark?
Yes, I do. 97 was the score, by the way. Correction on that. Ever closer to the magic 100. He has absolutely joined Bark. He's also joined RAC, and looking forward to being an active member in the club, I would think. So yeah, that's it. It's all the news and traffic I have, and thank you for letting me, for echoing that out there for Scott. I think that was an amazing achievement. I think we'll hear him on the radio very soon. Back to net control, VA3DGA.
Excellent. Thanks. 97. Well, I think our first clue that he was determined was that he found you through the government site. I didn't know there was even a list of examiners up there, so that's pretty cool. And VE3ITW, how are you this evening?
Hi, good evening, Chris. VE3ITW, Bob in Stony Creek here, and hello to everybody else on net. Just thanks for doing the net, and yeah, everything's good here, and I haven't really been playing radio much, cleaning up and closing the pool. That's it for swimming this year. Thanks, Chris.
The party's over, or summer is winding down. It's funny, I haven't been in school in years and years and years, but I still feel funny around Labor Day, like, it's the end. All right, thanks for checking in. Do we have anyone else like to join us? This is the Burlington Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Romeo Alpha. VE3 Mike Radio X-ray.
VA3NCA. Leak check in, no comment, but I wanted to get my name in the log. Thanks for doing it, Chris. Back to you.
Victor Echo 3 Kilo Alpha Hotel.
VE3 JPT. Julian.
Victor Echo 3 India Sierra Oscar. Okay, lots more, and most of you I saw last night at the meeting. We had the 3 ISO. Now, the station before Rod, before the 3 ISO, your audio was a little low, and I missed your call sign. Can you try it again, please?
Possibly VE3 Juliet.
Okay, VE3 JPP. Let's see, nothing's coming up here on my software. But yeah, your audio's a little low, but let's go for it. Welcome to the net.
Well, thank you. I'm actually very new. I just got my license a few months back and have not been engaged. But I'm certainly looking forward to the September 30th Ancaster event because I'm on a 10 walkie and I'm looking for a back.
Great. So can I just get your name for the log? And welcome to the hobby. The Hamfest will be a great introduction to lots of things, and including that constant need to buy radios. But can I just get your name, sir?
Roger, it's John. I'm coming to you out of Mississippi.
Okay, thanks, John. Well, welcome to the net and the hobby. Always great hearing new hams. Okay, also in that group we had VE3KAH, VA3NCA, and VE3MRX. First was VA3KRA. Kevin, thanks for the repeater update last night. How are things?
VE3RWJ, VA3KRA. Good evening, Chris, and good evening to everybody on net. Well, it's probably not a lot of change from last night to tonight. Extremely busy at work with students all coming back to school, and it's probably the largest crowd that we've had there since the start of COVID. As a matter of fact, registration numbers are saying it's probably more people on campus this year than when the 2019 season before we all shut down. So a new challenge. Nothing new pretty much on the repeater front other than we are still continuing to do some work on both the Fusion repeater and the 220 repeater. We appreciate everybody's patience with that, and we're going to do our best to get things back on the air as quickly as we can. With that, thank you for being there as always, and we'll turn it back to Net Control, the A3KRA.
Thanks, Kevin, for your continued efforts to figure out what's going on with those two repeaters, especially the Fusion one. And yeah, it sounds like I think everything's as back to normal as possible this fall. At least it feels that way. Thanks for joining us. And VE3MRX, Bill, be catching you tomorrow night on the CW operations. How are you doing?
Oh, good, Chris. Thank you very much, and hello to everybody on frequency. As I've said before, SKCC, the Straight Key Century Club, has a month-long event where you're supposed to contact all the provinces in Canada. And I'm an event station, so I'm going to be on at 8 o'clock on 14056 if anybody wants a CW contact. And I'll go as slow as you need to go. Back to you, Chris. Thank you.
Thanks for that. And yep, anyone into CW, give Bill a shout on the air. Thanks a lot. And VA3NCA, I think I worked for you during the contest. How are you doing, Wade?
On the 3RWJ, VA3NCA, pretty good, Chris. Yeah, we did 70 centimeters and 2 meters during the contest. I don't have 220 here, so I couldn't help you there. But yeah, I was a little late to the start, so I think I missed the in and out. But I wanted to give you a check in there before I head over to the AREG, which is tonight, of course, as well, starting in about 5 minutes. So. But other than that, I hope you did well in the contest, and thanks for calling me in. VA3NCA, back to Net Control.
Thanks, Wade. And yeah, I did better than I expected to. I've been in it 9 times now, and that was my second best so far. So getting better at these things. Thanks for your check-in, and VE3KAH, Mike, welcome to the net, and I sent you a couple emails earlier today.
VE3KAH, good evening to everyone on frequency. Yes, Chris, I'm actually crafting that one today. It was a busy day, so I was slow on my emails. Fear not, it's coming. Nothing more to report to the net, but I was encouraged and pleased to see some of our new students show up via Zoom. for the meeting last night. So look for them on the comments on the discussion area. So welcome them as if you see a strange email coming through. Hi. Okay, back to you, Chris. VE3KAH.
Thanks, Mike. And hey, there's no rush on the emails. I realize not everyone is glued to their inbox the way I am. My job is kind of gig work that comes in, and there's a whole bunch of us that get a crack at jobs that come in by email, and it's kind of a race. We all get notified, and kind of whoever clicks on it first. So I'm looking at the inbox all day. Thanks, Mike. And let's see, VE3ISO, Rod. Good seeing you last night. How are you doing?
Yeah, good evening, Chris. Thanks for doing the net, and good evening to all on frequency. I am going to echo Bob ITW's feelings. I closed my pool today, and so I'm a little bushed, but it was a lot of fun, and all done for the winter season now. Anyway, it was a good meeting last night. I had a blast, and seeing everybody, much like you, Chris. And it was great to see the turnout of the students on the Zoom. I don't have the count of how many was there yet because I was busy all day, and I do have Josh's application, and I'll be processing that probably tonight, all being well. So I just thought I'd drop in, say good evening, wish everybody all the best. Heaven to Chris.
Thanks, Rod. Thanks for all the updates last night, and the especially about the Excite project. That is exciting. And about schools closing and fall and everything, believe it or not, our furnace is on right now. We actually turned our heat on just tonight. Seems a little early for that, but anyway. Do we have any other check-ins for the Burlington Amateur Radio Club?
Okay, attention all stations. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, opening the Amateur Radio Exchange Group Net AREG for Wednesday, September the 13th, 2023. This is week 1565, 1,565 weeks that AREG has been on the air. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in Hamilton, Ontario. And this net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430. Since this is a Simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. And so we also stream the net on YouTube, so people who tune in can hear their station, or they can hear stations they cannot hear on the radio. They can hear it through the YouTube. And they can hear how their audio sounds on the air, see their signal strength, and see my station layout. And so just type in my call into the YouTube search box. Again, VA3CJZ. And tonight you can look for us live or under the title AREG Week 1565. And so finally, we ask that you please leave a 2-second delay between transmissions to allow others to break in. So may I please have check-ins for tonight's AREG?
VA3 AXJ portable.
VE3 ZJC.
Okay, we'll start with 2, AXJ and ZJC. VA3AXJ, come on in, Rick.
Good evening there, Chuck. Missed a couple of weeks there. It's busy as hell. And, yeah, about 15 minutes before the net,
I kind of broke my end of my coax cable. I had to scurry around and fix it. But apparently I must have fixed it because I think it's working.
Yep, solid signal, no cutting out or anything like that. So, yep, sounding good.
Roger. Yeah, it's been a couple of really weird weeks for me. Pushing around doing this, doing that, getting on and that stuff. Other than that, feeling pretty good. Gonna be up for a bit, so I'm gonna hang in for a while anyhow. Back to you.
Okay, Rick, very good. Well, at least I'm not hearing you complaining about your back. I had my procedure there a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just 2 weeks after I started feeling a little tinge, a little twinge there in the lower SI joint, it's called. You know how everybody has those two little dimples in the bottom, in the lower of their back there? Well, those are called SI joints. And the one side is a little sore still, but it's getting better. And can't wait to be, you know, able to do stuff without worrying if I'm going to throw my back out. So, anyways, it's just the muscles really that need a bit of work now. I started doing that old man yoga in a chair. My doctor, my diabetes nurse today, she said, "Oh, you mean chair yoga?" I said, "I don't know what it's called. All I saw was a video of an old man sitting in a chair and doing these twists and bends while sitting." And she said, "Yeah, it's called chair yoga." So whatever. But anyways, started doing that. Anyways, Rick, you're going to stick around with us for a while?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stick around for a little bit. I've got to hear this and the other thing there too. This day. So anyhow, I
Yeah.
still got a little bit of twinges once in a while, but I go Monday again for another 6 shots in the back. So been pretty good though. Actually, I'm happy with it.
All right. Very good then, Rick. Glad to hear. Okay, so we'll get back to you there, Rick, and let's welcome in VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. Jason, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on frequency tonight. I guess this is week one on the march to 35 years for you. Not much for me today. Was a work from home day, so I got to take the time I would have spent commuting between here and Mississauga to do a little reorganizing in my home office, where my station is. So getting some stuff reorganized to make it a little more fluid for me. Other than that, played on the radio most of the afternoon doing some POTA stuff. Got a second park down in Puerto Rico, and a couple new states that I don't remember off the top of my head, and a couple new awards just because I keep chasing PR around the parks.
Jason Pierre on the parks. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, I think he's out there this evening. He should be wrapped up by now, or in a couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah, I did catch him earlier. He was still working 40 meters right before the net started. He may have been done. He may be on his way home. But yeah, it's what do? You support the guys, your friends, and make sure everybody's having a good time. Nothing else for me, Chuck. I will, as always, stick around for the duration. I may be on the handy-talkie at points, so if you come back to me, I may be weak for anybody else who's listening over the air. Back to you, sir.
All right, very good. So, have you? I heard you had a problem with your build on your antenna there. Did that work out all right?
Fortuitously, it did, actually. So when I built 4 lower aluminum tube extensions, and one of them, the weld failed on it. And it turns out I didn't need it anyway. There was enough inductance in the whole thing that I got it tuned up pretty good for most of the bands. 6 meters a little tough, but everything else seems to be working just fine. I actually used it today to get a hold of Pierre over there at Dundurn Castle.
Oh, he's at the castle, eh? Right on. Okay, very good then. All right, Jason, we'll get back to you on the next round. But for now, I just want to say hello to everybody on YouTube who has joined us. We've got Michael, KI5SPA in Arkansas. We've got Sean that now lives in the Philippines. Good evening, good morning, Sean. It's I forget what time it is there, probably in the morning. Uh, Sean lived, I think, in Oakville. His call is Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Kilo India. And he sold everything he had and moved to the Philippines with his wife there. So I hope all is going well, Sean. And yeah, let me know. And then we got Wade. Good evening, VA3NCA. Wade, I heard you checking in. I actually started recording Chris's net on the 440 repeater, and you checked in at 750, but you didn't get to start talking until 7:55 p.m. on the clock. So if you want to play back the stream later, you're talking around 7:55. Just thought I'd let you know that. And Bill, VE3 India United Kilowatt. Good evening, Bill. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. I do appreciate all of you stopping by to say hello. Don't have any questions for the net tonight. So if anybody wants to talk about anything, this past weekend we had a VHF contest going on. If any of you participated in that, you can let us know. I know there was a lot of worldwide stations out there. There were a few contests, and I got about 10 or 12 countries under my belt there this weekend. So it was a lot of fun. It wasn't too hairy. And Sean says it's morning over there. There you go. Very good, Sean. Have a great day, buddy. Thanks for checking in. All right, with that, let's see if we have any other check-ins for the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. My name is Chuck, and I'm here in Hamilton. Any new check-ins, please come now.
VA3OYL.
VA3CKZ. It's Chris of Hamilton.
I'm sorry, was that VA3CKZ?
That's correct. Yes, Chuck. It's Chris in Hamilton.
Okay, very good, Chris. Well, let's take in Debbie first. Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Yankee Lima. Debbie, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck and all on net. I'm just listening to Pierre. He's still on 40 meters in a pileup. He's on 7228. So I guess he's doing a new day at the park. Not much going on here, just doing radio and cleaning up the shack. It seems to always get messy no matter how much I clean it.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. I mean, you can, like when I do my desk here where all my radio stuff is, I clean it up before I take a picture of it. Because if I want, an updated picture, of course, I take everything off that's not radio related. And then, of course, I start putting things back, my coffee cup holders, little things that I like to have handy on the desk here. And so, yeah, it doesn't take long to get it not perfect looking, let's say.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm going to clean out. I have a couple of CB radios I'm going to get rid of and make a little more room, maybe for some new equipment. That would be good.
Yeah, I hear you. I would love to have another power supply so I can tinker around with a couple of radios that aren't performing very well. And yeah, that's my only need for my station, really. But yeah, right on. Okay, so did you do any contesting at all this weekend?
No, I did not. I listened
to a few people working the contest, the VHF. But no, I did a little bit of POTA chasing.
POTA.
Here and there, mostly FT8, a little bit of sideband. That was about it.
Been doing some POTA. You're getting the POTA bug, eh, Deb?
Oh yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. Well, not a long time. I don't do a lot of it, but yeah, it's fun, and I'm trying to. I think I have 11 more states to get all the U.S. states going. I'm sure they'll be difficult to get, though.
Yeah, tell me about it. I've got 18 to go. Yeah. And, geez, I don't know. On one, I think it's on QRZ, I need only like 4 or something like that. But for the POTA, yeah, different story.
Yeah, for sure. And the provinces, well, that's a different story. I don't have maybe half the provinces, if that. But it's fun. It gives me a goal to work towards, and that's what I like. So, okay, I'll let you see if there's anyone else behind me, and I'll be listening along.
Okay, Deb, thanks for joining us and sharing that with everyone. Thank you. All right, so let's go to Chris then. VA3 Charlie Kilo Zulu. Chris, come on in.
Oh, thanks, Chuck. I appreciate it. Good evening to everybody out there on the net tonight. I have a question, though. I'm looking to find a IRLP repeater locally to the Hamilton area or Burlington area that's actually working. Does anybody know of one? I know the one we have here apparently isn't working on the IRLP. Over.
Right. Well, Chris, that's a good question. I don't know offhand, but I would direct you to the ONTARS website. And so that's ONTARS Oscar November Tango Alpha Romeo Sierra.com. And they have a marketplace on there, and they've got all kinds of people selling different services and different items. And so that would be one place I would direct you to go there.
Okay, well, I'll give it a try and see what's out there. I've been on it. They're checking out equipment before because I don't have the HF rig yet, and I'd like to talk to the guys down in PEI that I met. So it's kind of would be kind of nice to be able to connect to them on a IRLP. Over.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, not all the repeaters in the city have that service, and if they do, it's on a person to person circumstance. You have to speak to the owner of the repeater and see if you can get in to use that service. But if you want to put one up yourself, yeah, I haven't heard of anyone selling repeaters except for maybe one gentleman. His call is VE3DJZ Delta Juliet Zulu. And if you look him up on QRZ.com, if you put your mouse over underneath his call sign there, if he has his email available, you'll see it there. But other than that, does anyone else have any recommendations for Chris there on trying to find an IRLP repeater? Well, nothing for now, Chris, but you hang in there and we'll get some more people checking in later on. And maybe they'll have some input for you there. So we'll ask around in a little while. But for now, how's things going there with you and the radio? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, everything's going good. I've been playing a bit with Echo Link and so on, and being able to connect to a couple places offshore. I actually was talking to uh, Sweden about a month ago. So yeah, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. But I am looking towards trying to get a small HF rig whenever I can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, Chris, very good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying all the different aspects of, well, some of the aspects of the amateur radio that has to offer. And yeah, that Echo Link, that's great stuff. I mean, you could download it on your phone and you could be, sitting outside on your front porch talking on Echo Link. So yeah, it's fantastic. All right, Chris. Well, thanks for checking in this evening, sir. I do appreciate it. Do you have anything else before we carry on?
No, that's it for tonight, Chuck. Appreciate it. And 7-3 to everybody out there. And this is VA3CKZ clear.
Okay, very good. So, with that, I want to say hello now to Dave, Victor Alpha 3 Delta Charlie Sierra from Bass Lake Provincial Park, checking in tonight with us on YouTube. Good evening, Dave, and welcome. And also, we have VE3 FNI, Sean, also checking in. Max Videodrome. I love that. Uh, I love that handle. Great stuff. Hope everything is going great with both of you, Dave and Sean. And thank you for joining us. With that, do we have any other check ins for tonight's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come forward. All right, nothing heard for the moment. And so let's go to upcoming contests. So we'll go to contestcalendar.com, the webpage, and we'll start off with the ARRL 10 gigahertz and up contest. And that is almost a 2-day event. That's the longest net that is happening this weekend. And that is geographic focus is North America and the participation North America. And it's any mode and 10 gigahertz to light. I don't know what light means. But anyways. Okay, so that's our first big contest. Then we have the Scandinavian activity contest for CW. And that covers the bands 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80 for CW. Next, we've got the Texas QSO Party. And all the bands except the work bands. So that's Texas QSO Party. There are a bunch. The next one we have is the Iowa QSO Party on the 16th. They're all on the 16th. And then there's QRP Field. And that's only a short one for 6 hours. And that's any mode from 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Then another one, New Hampshire QSO Party. And that looks like it's done in 2 separate time frames. One for 6 hours and the next one, 2 different days for 6 hours. That's a New Hampshire QSO Party. All right, next we've got the New Jersey QSO Party. 1600 Zulu, September 16th to 1 second before 0400 Zulu, September 17th. And next we've got the Washington State Salmon Run. Ooh, I'd love to be salmon fishing right now. And that's for CW and phone. Starts at 6 meters, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. We love some salmon. Next, we've got Wisconsin Parks on the air. This will not be a POTA type situation. It'll be a contest for Wisconsin Parks on the air. You can find all the rules if you go to contestcalendar.com, pull up the 8-page schedule, and then when you get to the Wisconsin Parks on the air, there's a little at the bottom of it. It says "Find Rules at," and you just click on that, and it takes you there. Let's see now. Run for the Bacon, just for Debbie, because I know she's there. For CW, 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. That's for you, Deb. Run for the Bacon. So for any and all information regarding all the contests coming up, please go to contestcalendar.com. And with that, do we have any comments, questions, or check-ins? This is VA3CJZ.
VA3NCA.
VA3NCA. Wade, come on in.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening, everybody on the net. Another nice Wednesday spent on the AREG. It's good to hear everybody in there. I did do a spin through 40 meters there on the POTA page, and I managed to pick up Pierre. There's quite a few Canadians out there tonight. I got Tom out in Barrie Way, although it looks like he must be camping because he's in an Algonquin park. And let's see, a few other people. John V3IPS was out there, and I think I heard OYL checking in or doing a hunt there. So, anyways, back to here. I've been listening to you on YouTube while I spun around the dial. And other than that, not much else to report. It was a work from home day today, but tomorrow I'm got to get up and head out and get actually onto campus. So that'll be tomorrow's effort. So, anyways, thanks for doing it, Chuck. I'm going to listen along, of course, for the rest of the net, and looking forward to it and this day in history amongst all the other hearing all the other check-ins. Back to net control.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Wade, and also thanks for that little surprise there. I found I hadn't gone out all day, and of course I went out on the front porch around 7 o'clock or so, and I'm like, "What's this?" And it took me a few seconds. So right on, we'll chat about it off net. But anyways, very good then. And yeah, Pierre probably won't be sticking around for too long if he's not already wrapping it up. I think the frequency was 7.228 for anyone interested. And I just got a message on the YouTube stream for Chris, CKZ. We have Chris from the Burlington Amateur Radio Club mentioning that the VE3 RSB repeater in Burlington has All-Star and Echolink available on it, and the frequency for that, if you've got a pen handy, Chris, let me know. I'll wait for you.
Yeah. VA3CKZ. Go ahead, Chuck.
Okay, very good. You can find the VE3 RSB, that's Romeo Sierra Bravo, on 147.210. That's a plus 600 offset, and the tone is 131.8. And so apparently you can use that one. And again, that's 147.210. 210 with a tone of 131.8. And so you can have both All-Star and Echolink built in through that repeater. And I guess anyone's welcome to use it. And thanks, Chris, VE3RWJ, for that information. And I noticed that you wrote that Kilo Charlie India Art was trying to check in. So we'll mark Art down. And let's see. Chris, CKZ, did you get all that?
Roger, correct. Yes, I got it. Thanks very much. I appreciate the information.
All right, very good then. And so let's see if I can hear Art. If not, I may need a relay. VE3 Kilo Charlie India, VA3 CJZ. You in there, Art? Okay, Art, I'm hearing you very faintly. So can anyone relay what Art said to me, please? No one else hears Art? Okay, Art, I'm so sorry. I have difficulty making you out. You're in with my noise level. And so don't despair. Just hang in there a few more minutes, and we'll see if somebody new that checks in is able to pick you up and do a relay for us. Okay, buddy? All right. So do we have any other check-ins for tonight's AREG net? We are at week 1565. That's 1,565 weeks. Last week, we celebrated the 30-year anniversary and had a great old time, and as we do every week. So do we have any other check-ins? Please come forward.
VA3 COF.
All right, I hear Damien, VA3 COF. Good evening, sir. Come on in. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, Chuck. I'm doing well. Just a day at work and minor medical appointment, and stopped for dinner at the Fool and Flagon because my wife's up Ottawa way. So just on my way back home now. Over.
Oh, very good, very good. I've been meaning to go there. How is dining there?
I've been a couple of times. They have really good fish and chips. I think it's Friday night for $15, but tonight was all you can eat mussels. And I took on the challenge and had 3 pounds of mussels. I've got to say, two of the flavors were really good. The other one, not so good. But yeah, it was a good deal overall. Over.
Oh, very good, very good. 3 pounds. Oh my goodness. All right, that kind of reminds me of like when they have. I love going to like the Mandarin and places like that. There, I remember Red Lobster one time I went to. That was great. Yeah, it's nice to change things up once in a while, instead of the usual. All right, Damien. Well, you're coming in great. I believe you're in the mobile. And whereabouts are you?
Yeah, I was just coming over the Skyway when I called in and about to pull into Burlington Street. So, yeah, just on the Yaesu on medium power. So I'm sure I'm booming into you there. Over.
Oh, yes. We're getting a great bounce. You're coming in full strength right now. So good job. And thanks for checking in. I do appreciate it, sir. Anything else?
No, that's all for the net. I'll keep listening for a bit. Over.
Okay, very good then. Okay, so let's see if anyone else is out there would like to check in with us here on the AREG Net Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ. My name is Chuck, and I'm over here by the Center Mall in Hamilton. Any new check-ins, please come forward.
Here Echo 3, Bravo, Mike, Oscar, the mobile.
Victor Echo 3, Bravo Mike Oscar. We were just talking about you, saying that you were going to wrap things up if you haven't already. So there you have it. Thanks for checking in, Pierre.
Yeah, not a problem there, Chuck. I figured I was on my way home, and IUK reminded me about the Wednesday night net that I usually don't check in because I ain't awake. I figured I'd give you a bean for the pot. 174 contacts, Chuck.
Woo! What? Today?
Roger, roger.
Wow, that's outstanding. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for checking in, and you'll be back at your castle in no time.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I thought I'd tell you that. That was pretty impressive myself. Go ahead, continue on, and I'll listen along until I get into the house. V3 CJs or VA3 CJZ, VE3 BMO.
Okay, Pierre. Well, you're coming into my station pretty good there. A little bit of bouncing around now and then, but great job. And for those of you listening, if you cannot hear someone, you can follow along on the YouTube live stream. You just put in my call in the YouTube search. Again, that's VA3CJZ. And you can move the slider at the bottom if you like and put it back and forth wherever you want. There is a timestamp clock, a running clock on the stream. So you can join us there and you'll be able to hear what I can hear. And with that, let's see if anyone else would like to check in to the AREG net. This is VA3 CJZ. Please come forward. Okay, well, let's make sure we've got everybody checked into from YouTube, the YouTube stream here. Looks like I've got everybody. I got to put Michael in there. KI5SPA. Thanks again, sir, checking in from Arkansas. And the other gentleman from Bass Lake. Got to put him in there as well. Okay. Any other check-ins for the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3 CJZ. Okay, let's see if we've got any other announcements. It is a little chilly out tonight. It's we just cracked down to 16.9, and they say it's going to go down to like 11 overnight, something like that. So I'm trying to read what people are typing here. Right on. So at least people are chatting on the YouTube stream to one another. That's great news. Okay, so 8:35. Let's see what we have next. We do have on this day, we could start off with some birthdays. All right, how about we do that? And today's on this day is brought to you by week 133. This is on this day 133, September 13th. People born on this day. First of all, we've got Daniel Defoe, born in 1660. And he is the English novelist that wrote the story of Robinson Crusoe. And so he was born in London, England. And again, his name is Daniel Defoe, Defoe. And the book actually came out on the 25th of April, 1719. I never realized just how old some of these stories, books, really are. Okay, and then next we've got our most famous chocolate lady named Laura Secord. Remember those chocolates? Well, she was born on this day, September 13th, in 1775. She's a Canadian heroine of the War of 1812, born in Great Barrington, Massachusetts Bay. And so she was instrumental in alerting forces of enemy positions, I guess, and so on. So Laura Secord. And no, she didn't bring them chocolates. Next, we've got Walter Reed, born on this day. You may have heard that hospital in the U.S. for veterans. Well, it's named after him. He was born on this day in 1851. Walter Reed is a U.S. Army physician and bacteriologist who proved mosquitoes transmit yellow fever. And he was born in Virginia. He passed away in 1902. Some more chocolate. What's going on here? Milton S. Hershey. Now, that name might sound familiar. Born on this day in 1857, passing away in 1945. He's the American chocolate tycoon, the Hershey Chocolate Company, named after him. And he's also a philanthropist, and he was born in Pennsylvania. So, born in 1857, passing away 1945. Next, we've got John J. Pershing, born in 1860. He's an American general and World War I commander, born in Missouri. Okay, now here's a weird name. If you take the name Ronald and you take the N out of the word, you've got Roald. Next person's name is Roald Dahl, Dahl. And he was born in 1916. And he is the British author of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory book or story. He was born in Wales, passed away in 1990. Roald Dahl, the author of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. All right, next we've got Mel Torme, an American jazz singer known as the Velvet Fog and composer for the Christmas song. I don't really, he's a little before my time. My parents knew of him, though. Born in Chicago, Illinois. Next, we've got Fred Silverman. Born in 1937 on this day. He's an American broadcasting executive and producer, get this, for ABC, NBC, and CBS. Wow, the big three. Born in New York City, New York. He passed away in 2020. Next, we've got Richard Kiel. Anyone who's watched most of the Bond movies in the 70s will remember Richard Kiel. He was born in 1939, an American actor. He was Jaws on the movie Moonraker and a couple other ones, I think. He was born in Detroit, Michigan. He had a growth hormone problem, pituitary gland, I think. He passed away in 2014. Very tall guy. Here we go. Richard Dawson Kiel was an American actor standing 7'2" tall, and he was known for portraying Jaws in The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker. There we go. Kiel's next most recognized role is the tough but eloquent Mr. Larson in Happy Gilmore. Oh, I'll have to rewatch that. I forgot that. Next with a birthday is Jacqueline Bisset, born on this day in 1944. I forget what that equates to today's age. She's got to be about 80, 79, 80, somewhere around there. Born in Surrey, England. She was great in the movie Deep. That's a good movie to watch. Jacqueline Bisset. Very good-looking woman. Next, we've got Peter Cetera, born on this day in 1944, as well as Jacqueline Bisset. He's the American rock bassist, lead singer, and songwriter for the band Chicago between 1967 and 1985. You'll remember the song 25 or 624 and If You Leave Me Now. And, of course, he was born in Chicago from the band Chicago. Next, born on this day, 1956, we've got Joan, a.k.a. Joni Sledge. and she's the American vocalist for the band Sister Sledge. You'll remember the song We Are Family. She was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and passed away in 2017. Last for birthdays on this day, we have born in 1967, Tim Ripper Owens, an American singer with the band Iced Earth, and Judas Priest. He was born in Akron, Ohio in 1967. Tim Ripper Owens. And that's it for birthdays on this day. Do we have any comments, questions, or check-ins for this evening's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3 CJZ. Please come now. Okay, then. So let's go ahead and do who died today in history. We usually go back as far as we find interesting, and tonight we're going to go all the way to the year 39 AD. 81 AD. This next gentleman's name is Titus, born in 39 AD, passing away today in the year 81 AD. He was the emperor of Rome who captured Jerusalem and completed the Colosseum in Rome. He dies of a fever at about the age of 42. Next, we've got James Wolfe, passed away in 1759. British Army officer who defeated the French in Canada and captured Quebec. But he died in battle at the age of 32. James Wolfe. I do believe I read about him in Canadian history as a kid in about 5th or 6th grade, maybe. Speaking of history, we've got Louis Mountbatten, passing away in 1921. Really? Says here he's an Austrian-born British admiral who was linked to the royal family. His real name, or his full name, is Louis of Battenberg. And as with many members of the royal family, Louis Mountbatten was related to both Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth. He's a great-grandson of Queen Victoria, and he was a distant cousin of the Queen's, as well as Prince Philip's uncle. Philip's mother, Princess Alice of Battenberg, was Louis's sister. I know, it's tough to keep up. All right, next gentleman, Ammon Goth. In the year 1946, Ammon Goth was an Austrian SS commandant of the Platzgau concentration camp, and he was executed by hanging after being convicted of war crimes at the age of 37. We'll read more about him later. But his name was Ammon Goth. Next, we've got Charles Foulkes, Foulkes. In 1969, he passed away, and he was a Canadian general, or British Canadian general, and honorary citizen of Wageningen. That's in the Netherlands, because that's where the Germans surrendered. He accepted World War II German surrender in the Netherlands. He dies at the age of 66 in the year 1969. Next, we've got Tupac Shakur, passing away in 1996. He was only 25 years old when he died of internal bleeding after a drive-by shooting. All right. Next, we've got Moses Malone. I don't normally do NBA, but this guy's from my days. He passed away in 2015. He's a basketball Hall of Famer, center, MVP for several years, All-Star, you name it. But he was with the Houston Rockets and the Philadelphia 76ers. He dies of a heart attack at the age of 60. And finally, for the last person on my list, we've got Eddie Money passing away on this day in 2019, just a few years ago. He's an American rock singer-songwriter. You might remember the song 2 Tickets to Paradise or Take Me Home Tonight. Eddie Money, sadly, it will be sadly missed in the music world for sure. He dies of esophageal cancer at the age of 70. Boy, eh? All our music idols are all getting up there in age or passing away. That's it for people passing away in history today. Do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins for tonight's AREG Net? This is VA3 CJZ. All right. Does anyone want me to continue on or do another round? All right. We'll continue on for a bit here then and go to our on this day 133, and we'll go to historical events. We've got a few of them, and we'll start off with Hadrian's Wall in northern England in the year 122 AD. Building begins on Hadrian's Wall. In the year 335, the Church of Holy Sepulchre is consecrated in Jerusalem. Now, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, or Church of the Resurrection, is a church in the Christian quarter of the Old City of Jerusalem. It is considered to be the holiest site for Christians in the world, as it has been the most important pilgrimage site for Christianity since the 4th century. That's in the year 335. Next, we've got the Statue of David in 1501. Michelangelo begins work on his Statue of David, a masterpiece of Renaissance sculpture. And it's David, the statue, represents the David in David and Goliath. So that's who that statue is about. Next, we've got the year 1759 on this day. The British beat the French forces at the Battle of Plains of Abraham near Quebec City and kills both leading generals, General Wolfe and General Montcalm. Now, I know I've read about Wolfe and Montcalm in my French history classes as a youngster. I'm sure many of you did too. And that was many years ago. So this happened again in 1759. All right, we'll go with this one, and then we'll do another round. And this next one has got a Canadian connection. In 1907, the Canadian Interprovincial Rugby Football Union, also known as the IRFU, forms with the merging of the Hamilton Tigers, the Toronto Argonauts, and the Ottawa Rough Riders, and Montreal FC. So they all become the IRFU. So, 1907. So there's the Hamilton connection there. All right, so with that, let's go to the top of the list and check in with Rick. It's almost 9 o'clock, 8:51 p.m. there, VA3 AXJ. You still with us, Rick?
Yeah, still hanging in there, Chuck, but not much longer. Eyes are getting heavy now. Yeah, it's been a long day. Yeah, quite interesting there tonight on this day. But I'm going to hang in for a bit more. I'll let you know if I'm going to jump out or whatever. But continue on.
All right, right on. Well, since a lot of people are choosing to do other things this evening, we may do the on this day earlier than normal. And if things get too slow, we'll just wrap it up early. That's all. No problem there. All right. So before we go on, do we have anyone else out there who'd like to check in with us here on the AREG net? This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Echo 3, Romeo, Oscar, Romeo.
VE3 Romeo Oscar Romeo. Rob, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck, and good evening to everyone on the net. Nice to be able to check in. I don't always get the opportunity to do it. And I got to say, Chuck, you run a great net. You deserve kudos for that. It's not just a check-in net, which makes it nice. Nothing much going on here. Just thought I'd check in and say hello. Interesting to hear some of the factoids that you're putting out there. And but you did miss something that when you did all those different accents from New England and so on and so you missed the Texas accent, and I hope you know how to do that.
Oh gosh, that reminds me. I've got friends from Florida, and I spent 5 minutes with them, and I'm a redneck. It just rubs off quickly. But yeah.
Yeah, when you do the Texas accent, when you pronounce Texas, it's Texas. You kind of sort of like let the bottom of your tongue fill with air.
Yeah, everything's big in Texas.
Yeah, Texas Q-show party.
That's it. Hey, Rob, I wonder if you wouldn't mind giving out a listen. We've got a gentleman up on the mountain there that's having a difficult time. There's something that blocks our signals, and I can never hear him very well. And his call sign is VE3 Kilo Charlie India, and his name is Art. And I wonder if you could try and relay for me.
Sure. I'll see if he's still there. VE3 Kilo Charlie India, VE3 ROR. Art, do you copy? This is Rob. Oh, you're just blasting in here. I'm just not too far from Mohawk College. Well, sounding good. Sounding really good. Nice to meet you, Art. And yeah, I'm glad that we caught you before you turned the switch off. So fantastic. Yeah, I'm usually listening on 14652. I'm often on there listening. I'm retired, so when I'm in the shack, I'm listening on there. So do give a call out there from time to time. Okay, so then I'll be sure to come down here and say hello, so see if you're around. Okay, I'm going to write your call sign down so that we can do that. All right, so I guess you're checking out then. Oh yeah, that's a lot of noise. Okay, so it's Victor Echo 3 Kilo Charlie India. Okay, I've got to make sure I have that right. Okay, well, great meeting you, and I'll let Chuck know that you're checked in and checked out. Okay, 7-3. I guess you caught that, Chuck?
Yes, thank you so much for the relay, Rob. And that's the one thing about running a Simplex net. You can't always hear everyone, and others can hear the parties that you can't. And so there's just something in between. Art is in an apartment, and he's facing west, and he's over by, I guess, your direction. He told you where there. And there's just something in between us. I cannot pick him up very well at all.
Yeah. He says 7-3 to everyone on the net as well, and 7-3 to you as well, Chuck. Yeah, it's just one of those things, line of sight, and the higher in frequency you go, you know how it is. The harder it is to make a contact with somebody who's not within the line of sight.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, my neighbor Kevin VE3 WKG there, he can pick him up on his Bofang on his front porch, but for some reason there's something keeping the signal from hitting my antennas, and I've got two antennas that I've tried, and I just can't pick him up. The odd time, though, when the conditions are right, like last week and the week before, I'm able to hear him enough to make him out over my noise level. And tonight is just not the case. So I do thank you for the relay, Rob, and much appreciated.
My pleasure, Chuck. And you know how it is sometimes when you're using a handheld on VHF or UHF or what have you, and all you need to do to improve a signal is just take a few steps in whatever direction, and bingo, the station comes in better. That might be the thing. It might be that your antennas are placed in such a way relative to his that it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. The only problem is it's on a tower and you can't move it. That'd be nice, eh? Pick it up and move it over 6 inches.
Yeah. It's interesting how it works on VHF and UHF. Okay, I won't keep it. I'll say 7-3. I just wanted to check in, say hello, and I'm gonna early to bed, early to rise. So I'll be listening to the net on my handheld, and then hitting the sack. Thanks a lot, Chuck. Thanks for doing the net. VE3ROR.
Okay, absolutely there, Rob. Always a pleasure to hear your voice. I'm glad sounds like things are well with you. So very good. Thank you again for the relay and the check-in. We'll add you to our log here and see if there's anyone else out there who'd like to join us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Please come now.
VE3GMP.
Hey, there he is. VE3GNP. Oh, I keyed up pretty quick there. Is there anyone else? Nope, guess not. Hi there, Garnett. Thanks for checking in. I understand you're taking off in 2 days.
You heard my voice, you're all excited and you keyed up really fast. That's what happened, Chuck. Yeah, I'm leaving Friday. I think I'm going to leave about noon on Friday. Drive off Friday night. Most of the day Saturday and get a motel room.
Very good, very good. Yeah, we'll have to keep track of you on the geez, what's that software again there?
Yeah, APR, FI.
APRS. Yeah, APRS, that's it. .fi. Yeah, very good. So I hope you have a good trip. I hope you don't run into any detours because of fires and whatnot. And so, by the way, is your brother in any path? Has he been evacuated, or everything's good where he is?
Yeah, as far as I know, I talked to him every couple of days, and so far everything's been good. And he's still living at home.
Yeah. Now, thinking about it right now, it's the middle of September, and the fires have been going crazy since the spring. So let's hope these things get put out quickly. But anyways, I wish you a safe trip there, Garnett, and thanks for checking in, my friend.
Yeah, I got 2 American FRI, APRS. -9 is my car. -10 is my cell phone.
Okay. -9. Let me write that down. -9 and -10. Okay. Got it. All right. Very good. Yeah. Well, I got your number anyways. I can always text you and you can say hi whenever you get a chance. So I wish you a lot of fun and relaxation and connecting with your brother and his family.
Yeah, thanks, Chuck. Appreciate it. I got a pad on speed dial this time.
Yeah. In case you need a flatbed.
Yeah. Well, I was in the tranny waiting in that white car. It's surprising that white car was only 3 or 4 years old and it went through the tranny.
That's crazy. Yeah, I know, eh? That's crazy. Well, I've heard things about cars where when you only use them for city driving, things tend to happen when you go on a long trip because they're not used to going on long trips. But I don't know. But like they say, things happen.
Yeah, the white car you drove in it too, and the channel wasn't set up for the blow neither, and the turbocharge.
Yeah. Some of them are finicky. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yep, I hear you. Anyways, Chuck, I won't keep it. I continue on your net. I may or may not be having you come back around again. I'm going to be shortly, anyways. I'll be E3GMP on the side.
Okay, very good then, Garnett. Well, thank you for checking in. We're a little bit lighter than normal tonight on the check-ins, but that's okay. Much appreciated, sir. And be a good night to be standing out in front of a fire right now. It's getting chilly out at night. Um, okay, yeah, nice fall. I love fall. Um, and yeah, we get it pretty good here. We don't get snow till January. Anyways, okay, so we'll clear with VE3GNP and see if anyone else is out there would like to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Please come forward.
I'm on the base now, Chuck. I thought I'd throw that in there since it was quiet.
Roger. Looks like I've got you at just over 910 over S9. Good copy there, Pierre. Thanks for letting me know.
Roger that. V3 BFO.
All right. Oh, and we've got a newcomer. We've got North End Richard joining us on the YouTube stream. Again, if you can't hear someone or you want to check out the YouTube stream, just put in VA3CJZ in the YouTube search and you can find us there live tonight. We're under the title AREG Week 1565. Thanks for joining us there, Richard. How's things with your leg there, my friend? We'll be looking for your response in the type there whenever you get a chance. And just let us know how things are overall. And with that, do we have anyone else that would like to check in to our Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come now. Okay, well, let's go down the list again there. We did talk to Rick. So let's go to Jason, my anti-call sign, VE3ZJC. Jason, come on in.
Hey again, Chuck. Hope you can get me. I'm out in the backyard packing up an antenna on the handy dock. Put away before raccoons some wires.
Raccoons eating the wires. Yes, sir. I actually last night caught a couple of raccoons in my backyard. And the night before, there was a skunk. Oh, yeah, I've got a security camera out there and I catch the little buggers. And so, yeah, I had a wasp nest with sugar water in it. And I didn't think about the raccoon very much, but they are very resourceful. And I caught him on my camera grabbing the wasp nest and throwing it on the ground and then going in and eating all the wasps and all the sugar water. So let's just say I had to reposition that the next day. I thought he had taken off with it. Found it in two pieces in the backyard. So anyways, yeah. All right, there. You're coming in about an S9, Jason. So good job. Good copy on you.
Thanks for that. And yeah, I totally get the security cameras. I've got them all around the house as well. And the wife likes to use them as critter cams to see what the squirrels, the raccoons, and the skunks, and the possums, and God knows what else is out here in the overnight with the night vision. So I will send it back to you, sir, while I finish packing up this antenna, the 3ZJC.
All right. Yeah, the old critter cam. Yeah, we've got a whole whack of them around here too. Because there's some nefarious stuff going on there once in a while. With all kinds of critters, the four-legged kind and the two-legged kind. All right. Thanks for checking in or checking back with us there, Jason. Let's go to Debbie now. VA3OYL. Debbie, you there?
Yes, I just got back from a walk with the pooch. It is chilly out there,
Oh,
but it was
yeah.
nice. I'd rather have it a little chilly than too hot.
Oh, yes, definitely. Um, for sure. It's crisp out there. It's 16.2 now. It's dipping down to 12, they're saying, but that probably won't happen until 3 or 4 in the morning. But nonetheless, 16 is crisp for sure. Like I was mentioning, I think while you were gone there, it'd be a great night to be standing out in front of a fire.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have a fire thing there, pit, I guess you'd call it. It uses the little cans of fuel. I haven't used it this year at all, but maybe now is the time to unwrap it and get it going.
Yeah, yeah. If you've got cool neighbors, um, by all means. I do. I have no problems with that. And you know what, Deb? I actually cook on mine. Just last night we had butterfly chops on on an open fire. Oh man, it's so good eating, cooking on an open fire.
Yeah, I have a charcoal barbecue, and
Oh yeah,
it's different than having gas barbecue, that's for sure.
yeah. That's the next best thing to cooking on an open fire. I mean, once you wait till you've got white hot coals, you're good to go. And you know what? You can make wood charcoal yourself if you have a little fire going and you've put out a fire before with water. You come back the next day and you'll see all kinds of charcoal wood, and you get enough of that. You can just relight that, and there's your charcoal.
Oh, there we go. And I hear my favorite contest is on the go soon.
That's right. Run for the bacon. Where did I find that? Where is it? Run for the bacon. That'll be on 2300 Zulu, September 17th to 0100 Zulu, September 18th. So basically 2 hours. 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160 for CW. And that is your Run for the Bacon QRP contest. They have it quite often.
Yeah, sounds like it. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be dog sitting at someone's house, so I don't know if I'm going to have any radio equipment over there. But, oh well, what are you going to do? I could probably bring something I can listen to.
Yeah, do you have a handheld?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, there you go. I miss my old Grundig shortwave radio. That was a good radio. Unfortunately, lost it in the fire. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these you can just stick a speaker wire in there and make your own antenna. I mean, it's you pick up all kinds of things, especially in the evening.
Yeah, I have a Grundig here, and it's amazing what it picks up. Um,
Yeah.
for a long time, I had just that and a scanner, and I'd listen to all the nets and everything before I got some antennas set up here when I first moved in. So you got to do what you got to do. Work with what you have.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the fire we had there, the only radio equipment. Speaking of scanners, the only radio equipment that I was able to salvage was the the Uniden Bearcat 4, I think it is. Cleaned it up a little bit, and it still works. And of course, the battery pack got wasted, so I just used a wall wart. And geez, that thing cost me like $500 for a handheld scanner. Unreal what they wanted for it. New, and of course, I bought it new. So, but they're great. I mean, that rubber ducky on them works awesome.
Yeah, I have a handheld. It's an Alinco. I forget what the model is, a 10 or something. Anyway, it receives everything as well. And I just put a big, long, telescopic whip on it, and I brought it up to the cottage a few times just to listen. And it had pretty good receive as well. Sometimes it's just nice to be compact with the radio stuff. You know, when you're bringing a lot of other stuff, you don't want to bring a lot. Well, I'd love to bring a lot of radio stuff, but just not room for it sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, a lot of these scanners now, you can either buy separately or they come with. They have a little spring-loaded antenna holder, and you just pull it out and clip it onto whatever's nearby, and you've got X amount of feet of wire to use instead of just the telescopic antenna that they come with. So, yeah, I really like them. I'm going to get another one.
Yeah, I have. I don't know if it's an MFJ, one of those big, long, telescopic ones. I don't even remember where I got it from, but yeah, I haven't looked at scanners lately. I don't know what the new ones are doing anymore. I know when I kind of got out of it, they were just starting to go digital, and where you couldn't hear any of the police or anything.
Yeah.
Encrypted and digital. So I do have a digital scanner. I should play around with it, see what I can hear out there now. Probably not much.
Yeah, the stuff you hear now mostly is EMS, different EMS dispatchers. You get the odd MTO in there, or an OPP officer coming through on an EMS frequency as well, you know, responding to, uh, you know, whatever. Every now and then you'll hear them calling out license plates or whatnot, and it's very rare. But yeah, it was such a letdown when you couldn't pick up the police anymore. HSR went digital as well, and a few other services there. So yeah, but hey, listen, my handheld Bearcat, Uniden Bearcat, still works. It still picks up things, and for $500, I'm holding on to it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you never know, right? Yeah, I remember listening to the OPP car repeater frequencies, and I could hear um, stuff that way. The most interesting thing I used to listen to when I lived in Welland, when you could receive cell phone signals, was in Buffalo. Some of the pimps and call girls had radios, so there were some very interesting conversations I heard.
Oh gosh, yeah, I know. I used to pick up cell phones, and yeah, I remember that. Cell phone conversations of my neighbors, you know, several houses away, or baby monitors was another one. Oh yeah, it was lots of fun. I've been listening to shortwave for a long time. All right, Deb. Well, we're gonna keep on going down the list there. Do you got anything else for us?
No, and hopefully I'll be here for last round. I might not be, but I will try to be.
Okay, then. Very good. So we'll break with VA3 OYL. Let's see how Chris has made out. with the information he got there through the YouTube, I do believe. VA3CKZ. Chris, you there? VA3NCA. Are you by the radio or are you on the YouTube stream?
Yeah, still here. I'm actually on both. I just saw, I don't know, Kevin. Shy isn't how I'd attribute to you, but nonetheless, we'll go with what you said on YouTube. That sounds good. I am still here. Listen along, Chuck, and also just putting together the last little bits of it's a ham radio night here, I guess. Our friend Vanya, XLJ, he was nice enough to come up with a little antenna mount for me. He was making a few of them with his contacts at work, and so he came up with a really nice little thing here, and all it needs is radials and a stand. And so I've been sort of cutting tuned radials for this raised vertical, a style that is made popular by the guy out west in California, the Yoo-Hoo guy. You might have heard of KJ6ER on POTA. He always says Yoo-Hoo or Woohoo on his activations, and he has an antenna style that he called the Predator until he got a cease and desist letter from a commercial outfit that had a Predator antenna. So now he calls it the Performer. Anyways, I understand it's quite a good one, and Vanya made a little base for me. So I've been a little bit late in coming up with actually putting it on the air and trying it. So I guess tonight, while we were listening along, I thought now's the time I'll start cutting out those radials that I'll need for it. So who knows? Maybe this weekend. Maybe I'll get a chance to give it a shot on the air. Anyways, that's what I've been doing while I've been listening along, and as usual, a great night of AREG. Back to you.
All right. Well, very good then. I hope that comes together nicely for you. And speaking of Vanya, I wonder where he is this evening. Another MIA, but nonetheless, good job then. All right, Wade, thank you very much for sharing that. And we'll break with you. And let's see if Damien is still with us. VA3, Charlie Oscar Foxtrot.
Yeah, Jack, VA3, CRF. Yeah, still listening along, yeah. Into your house. A little portable old boat thing I've got, so let's see how that's getting through you over.
Okay, very good then. You've got a good signal, an S9, S9 Plus, but you may need to keep your mouth a little bit closer to the handheld microphone because it doesn't pick up as well as a handheld mic. But other than that, good job. Right on. Okay then. So we still got plenty to go, and glad you're tagging along. Okay then. Everyone else is pretty much YouTube check-ins. So let's do another call out and see if anyone else is out there that would like to check in with the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is week 1,565 weeks that AREG has been on the air, and we're looking for check-ins. Please come now.
VE3LBI.
VE3LBI. Larry, come on in.
Yep, I just got here. Just got off of watching that live video and waiting for you guys to get done and waiting for your asking for new check-ins. So I'm here now.
All right. Before 9:30 too. That's usually your check-in time there. You and Rick sometimes, BK. I'm still waiting to see if he's going to show up. I know he's got issues. I think it's his HF radio. I don't think his VHF is down. I think he's got that running. We'll have to ask him there. So, anyways, anything new and exciting there, Larry?
I talked to Mac today. I don't know if anybody mentioned it. About 11:30, he was on from France. He went through Al's setup out there and through Echolink, and was linked into the ZOE repeater. So I talked to him for a bit on about 11:30 this morning.
Oh dear, I just missed it. I think I went upstairs to get breakfast, and oh, very good. So how's he getting along there?
Keep waiting for the repeater to drop. We're not on the repeater. Still should wait anyways, I guess, with a gap. He had a rough go taking off. Apparently had hydraulic problems with the plane. I was unable to catch all his conversation. Unfortunately, I was in the garage, and when he's talking, I can't adjust the volume. So I came into the house, and we talked a bit longer. But they put him up in a hotel or a motel for the night. I don't know what time he left. There was some problems with his luggage getting loaded. Actually, not just his, but everybody's. And he got into France wee hours in the morning. So needless to say, he's a little tired. When I spoke to him about 11:30, anybody who wants to probably pick him up on the ZOE, I would suggest somewhere between about shortly after, I'd say 20 after 11. I'm guessing at this, until about 12 o'clock or shortly after 12 our time, noon that is. But yeah, he was a little tired. Good to hear from somebody, and he was going to hopefully get some good night's sleep tonight.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Between 11 a.m. and 12 noon or so, that'd be a good time to turn on the ZOE and either do a call out or listen. So okay, well, thanks for sharing that, Larry. And so he had a bit of a rough start. Well, he's got 3 weeks, so I'm sure he'll settle in eventually.
Wait for the repeater to drop. It's a setup that VA3 NFL set up through Echolink. So there is a bit of a delay. Not that drastic, but the conversation was really good. The last time they were testing it, a lot of bacon frying and echo. Mac set his phone back. I think he set it back to about minus 12 dB, and it was perfectly clear today. So, like I said, anybody interested, if you want to talk to him, I'm sure he'd be glad to hear from people. So that would be roughly about 5:30, 6 o'clock France time. Again, about 11:30, 12 o'clock our time here.
Yeah, 6 hours difference. They're ahead 6 hours. Okay, very good. All right. Well, we'll do that tomorrow. I don't think I have anything planned around that time, so we'll try and listen in. But something always, you get distracted, you step away, but we'll try and listen into for Mac there tomorrow for sure. Okay, Larry. Did you? I know you do POTA. You hunt POTA, but did you get a chance to contact any other countries this past weekend? It was pretty active.
Nope, no opportunity. Was busy all weekend, so didn't have too much time to spend on the radio. More in the evenings, but no, was pretty busy for POTA anyways, or actually the radio completely.
Ah, okay, very good then. All right, Larry. Well, thanks for checking in. I do appreciate it, sir. You added to the list here, and let's see if we have anyone else out there who would like to check in to the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Please come forward. All righty then. Nothing heard. So I went through the list already, and I forgot one. ROR VE3 ROR. Rob, are you still there?
Oh yeah, still here, and I think I'll make this my last one. I said that last time I checked in, last round, but I think I'll really make it this one because I was sort of transfixed by everything that was going on the net. It's always nice to check into a nice, long-lasting net that isn't just a check-in net. It's good. Yeah, so this will be my last one, and good night to everyone, and thanks again for doing what you do there. Chuck, and we'll talk to you again hopefully sooner than later. Although we seem to run into each other not too often, but now that winter's coming, I think I'll be on the radio a bit more. 7-3 Chuck and 7-3 to everyone on the net. Everyone have a good night. VE3ROR.
Right. Well, I know where to find you, Rob. 14652. And so we'll give a shout there every now and again when we want to chit chat. So thanks again for checking in, my friend. And you have a great rest of the week. And we'll catch you down the log, as they say. So we'll clear with VE3ROR. It will be his final 7-3 round, as they say. Okay. And then we've got Garnett. I think he was saying goodnight also last time. But let's see, just for the heck of it, VE3GNP.
Yeah, go ahead, Chuck.
Ah, okay. So you're still listening in, are you? Very good. I just thought I'd check in with you there before we continue on with the rest of On This Day. And I don't know if we'll make it till 10 o'clock, but this is my second round. And so see if you had anything else to add.
You know, a lot of check-ins this week, eh?
Well, actually, if you add up the ones that are on YouTube, along with the radio check-ins, I'm about an average, which is about 15. Right now, we're sitting at 15 check-ins. And so, yeah, the radio check-ins are lower than they are normal. But hey, that happens, right?
Yeah, I hear you, Chuck. That's a shame. I decided to check in this week. Surprising is that's a low numbers.
Yeah, everyone put their best effort forward last week there, Garnett. We had the 30-year anniversary last week. So now we're basically the first week of the 31st year of the AREG. So this is the first week of the new year for AREG for me.
Yep. Okay, Chuck. Anyways, I'm probably going to go to bed anyways. I'm getting tired. Long day. A lot of stuff to do. We're going away. Anyways, we'll talk to you tomorrow. 33 Chuck and you're on that VE3GMP.
All right, Garnett. You sound a little bit. You sound ready to go lights out. So thanks again for sticking around and checking in with us, Garnett. I wish you all the best on your little holiday, and can't wait to hear from you. So take care and safe travels. VE3GNP, VA3CJZ. And with that, is there anyone else out there would like to check in to this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come now.
Chuck, before I go, VE3ROR.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, belated congratulations on the 30th anniversary there. I was totally unaware, and I'm sorry I missed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. Like you said, if you're not on the radio very often, you wouldn't have really heard about it there. But we tried to promote it a little bit here and there. And some of the guys, especially Chris on the on his net there before mine at 7:30, he was announcing it for a couple of weeks prior. So that was greatly appreciated. Got a few spillover from the Burlington net over to ours. I think we ended up with 31. That's pretty ironic, eh? It's the 30-year anniversary of AREG, and I got 31 check-ins.
That's awesome. That bodes well. That means you're into your 31st year, and you're probably good for another 30 at least.
Absolutely. Not going anywhere. So yeah, I just thought of that right now. It's like, 30 and then 31. And we're starting the 31st year. So yeah, numbers are important. Okay, Rob, anything else?
No, I've talked too much already. 7-3 VE3ROR.
Okay, very good then. All right, one last call out before we continue on with the rest of On This Day in History. Anyone else would like to check in, comment, question, anything, please come now.
3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Hey, there he is. Hey, I knew it. There it is, 9:32 p.m. VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Rick, come on in.
Yeah, good evening to Rob there. I haven't heard him for a while, and everybody else on frequency. And I'm just a late comer, so I didn't know what was going on there, and we got tied up on something else. So anyway, and just to remind people, I'm still doing the net on Monday nights, and there's quite a few people that I've noticed have been missing lately. But even though I'm not on HF right now because of my switch here, we're still doing it remote, and quite a few check-ins, quite a few people that are hearing me better with the remote than they did on my own station. So anyway, so I'll let you carry on there with what you were doing there, and good to hear you on here, Chuck. VA3CJZ, V3BK.
All right, very good, Rick. Thanks for checking in. I was just telling Larry, VE3LBI, he usually checks in close to 9:30, and I said, "Oh, I haven't heard Rick yet. He usually checks in around the same time." So a couple minutes later, there you are. And so you missed Art. I was unable to hear Art this week or tonight, and so I got Rob ROR, who's just on, to do a relay for me, but unfortunately Art had to wait a little bit because nobody on the radio was able to relay for me. So, but we finally got him in there. I got to hear what he had to say, and so yeah, I think he's gone now. But you could try giving a shout, seeing if Art is still with us.
Oh yeah, I could relay for you, and yeah, okay, yeah, I spent quite a bit of time on the phone with Art today, trying to get some things sorted out. So anyway, let's see if he is there. V3KCI, are you there, Art? V3BK. Oh, nothing heard there, Chuck.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for trying there, Rick. I do appreciate it. And before you go there, I just want to remind everyone, September 30th, in 2 weeks and 2 sleeps, is the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club Hamfest at the Ancaster Fairgrounds, and they've got 71 tables already reserved for that, and so it's going to be a pretty good event, and you should all make time to drop in there. And Rick will be by the gates as he usually is, I think. And he'll be greeting, him and his wife usually greet everyone there, right, Rick?
Yeah, Roger on that, and we'll have the club table, and there'll be a few goodies on the club table. Some of the stuff that was left over from our repeater at the old site, and some are going to be giveaways. So if anybody's interested in certain things, they might better check out the club table and see what's there that they might be interested in for a good price, or in some cases, I'm going to have a couple things there that we just want to give away. So anyway, so anybody look for us at the club table on September 30th. Yeah, and just maybe put in a plug for my Monday night net there with 3.693, 8 o'clock after our 2-meter and 440 net there on Monday night for the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club. We usually do 80 meters, just a check-in and a bit of a chin wag, and that's about it. Depends on see who can work who from where and that kind of thing. So anyway, there, I just put my own plug there, Chuck, over.
Yeah, that's right. Monday nights is the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club Nets. There are two of them. One of them is on UHF VHF, and I noticed you guys had some trouble this Monday with it, but it seems like it was the repeater was reset by someone, and so it was back up and running. And so 2 meters 440 at 7 p.m. on the VE3 NCF repeater, and then at 8 p.m. there's the HF net on 3.693. 3.693 at 8 p.m. And so, yeah, absolutely. We'll try. I'll mention that to the net controller on tomorrow night's Thursday. So there'll be a Simplex Net on 446125, and we'll let the boys know to check in with you on Mondays.
Yeah, well, that's great, Chuck. I noticed quite a few. I mean, summer is over, so I didn't expect as many check-ins on during the summer. But I noticed that there's a few guys that usually check in. Some of the guys that are on this net, usually check in and haven't been there lately. So some of our long-distance guys, too, haven't been there, and I think that all depends on propagation. But sometimes the propagation is really good on 80 meters, and sometimes it's not. So tonight, that's weird. You couldn't hear Chuck, not Chuck. I mean Art. You couldn't hear Art. That's weird. Anyway, did I get that wrong? Have you not got a Ringo Ranger now on there? And I thought maybe that was doing the job for you there, Chuck. Over.
Actually, the Ringo Ranger is on a separate 2 meter radio only, and the radio that I'm on now is the Yaesu 857, and I use a Diamond 200 for that on close to 40 feet off the ground, and I only can hear Art if the conditions are favorable. Like I said, last week and the week before, he was coming in fabulous. And tonight he was in with my noise at an S3, and I just couldn't pull him in.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, further on the 2 meter problems we had on Monday night with 2 meter 440 radios. That turned out to be a problem with our controller. So we've got after the move, their growing situation, and the latest greatest is that we might be putting All-Star in, and All-Star apparently replaces IRLP and Echolink. So it's something that they're thinking about trying. And anyway, they're going to lock out. So we have had trouble with somebody on there pushing buttons and resetting things and screwing up the work. So that's going to be turned off so that nobody can go in there and do that. And so it's a work in progress, Chuck. So anyway, this Monday night, they've already got the situation sorted out with the two being linked together and stuff like that. So it should be a good net on Monday night. Anyway, so I thought I'd throw that in there. Anyway, I'm going to let you go back to the net, and we always enjoy that this time in history. So back to you there, Chuck. VA3CJZ, V3BK.
Okay, very good then, Rick. Thanks again for checking in and letting everybody know about the nets and the repeater situation there. Okay, I'd just like to say 7-3 to Sean. He's out in the Philippines. As I mentioned previously, that's Victor Alpha 3, Alpha Kilo India. He used to live here in Hamilton, and him and his wife sold everything and moved to the Philippines. And before he said goodnight, he said to send some cool air his way. I guess it's pretty warm in the Philippines right now. So we're wishing you all the best there, Sean. If you're still listening, we'll catch you next time. Thanks again for checking in. And so with that, before we continue and finish off on this day in history, let's see if we have anyone else there who would like to check in on this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ. Any new check-ins, please come forward.
Victor Echo 3, November Whiskey.
Oh, there's a call sign I haven't seen in a while. VE3, November Whiskey. RPAD, come on in.
Yeah, I just got the message on YouTube, and I clicked on it, so I went on live. I saw you there. And just a quick question, did Mark check in? I guess not, eh? He's what, 5 hours ahead or something? I think 5 hours. So that would make it, what, 4 o'clock in the morning over there?
Yeah, no, they're 6 hours ahead. So it would be, 20 to 4 right now. So I just got word from Larry, VE3LBI, that Mac was on through Echolink into the ZOE repeater. Only Mac can check in. It was set up that way through VA3NFL Al, and so he's on usually between 11 a.m. and 12 noon. So if you want to hear Mac, just monitor the ZOE repeater, and he should check in and say hello around that time.
Oh, I'm not allowed to be on that repeater. People don't like me there.
Is that right? Oh, I didn't know there was a ban on people using that repeater.
Oh, I was a club member, and I guess they don't like ex club members. That's what it is. But anyways, yeah, you're doing a good job. Thank you very much. And actually, I'm using that spare radio. What I have, the 7100, and the microphone is the same mic what I was using for the other radio, and the same antenna. The antenna and the microphone is the same. It just switched radios because this one is using less power. On standby, only a half amp. 7100 using only a half amp, and the other one using 4 amp on standby. So too hard on the battery. It's a solar setup, right?
Yeah, right on. Okay, yeah, you were saying that one radio just sucks too much amperage on standby. I think you said four something amps. Yeah, that's pretty high to be using it on the solar power. But anyways, yeah, the you can still listen. RPAD, the ZOE repeater, you use that. So anyways, that's where Mac will be checking into, is through the ZOE repeater. And so you're more than welcome to listen to Mac when he drops in and says hello. And I guess he had a bit of a rough start flying out. There were technical problems with the plane and so on, but he's there. And apparently he was on today, somewhere around 11:30ish this morning. So I missed him, but we'll try again tomorrow. Anyways, RPAD, thanks for checking in. I do appreciate it, my friend, and we'll catch you or whoever's running the net tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Yeah, that would be me, and it is going to be the Simplex Net tomorrow. So yeah, just a quick reminder: 446-125, and FM mode. That's where we are going to be at 7 p.m. Just a reminder. So if you guys want to try out the Simplex, do that at 446-125. And yeah, actually, my friend of mine was flying one day before Mark was flying, and he's going to Budapest, and they were 2 hours late. Yeah, there was some issue with the plane, and they were 2 hours behind. So I don't know what's going on at the airport. They can't keep the schedules. All right, thank you very much, and appreciate to running the net and taking my call. And hopefully there are some more people who are going to check in. 73.
Okay, very good, RPAD. Yeah, it's a little bit of a slow night for radio check-ins, but we had quite a few that came in through the YouTube stream there. And here we have Michael, KI5SPA, I guess is saying 7-3. So 7-3, Mike. Thanks for checking in. I do appreciate it. You have a great rest of the week, and I hope to catch you next week. And so take care. 7-3. And that's for KI5, Sierra Papa Alpha. Michael in Arkansas. Okay, with that, do we have anyone else wishing to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3 CJZ. Please come now. Okay, then. So let's continue on with on this day and finish that up and see where we are. Where did we leave off here? Okay. So we finished off with the 1907 Canadian Interprovincial Rugby Football Union forming with the merging of the Hamilton Tigers, the Toronto Argonauts, and the Ottawa Rough Riders, and the Montreal FC. So they formed the IRFU back in 1907. So next we go to 1931 on this day. British RAF, Royal Air Force, pilot George Stainworth flies a world speed record of 655 kilometers per hour. And today's standards, that's slow. But for 1931, that was pretty darn good. It was a world speed record. All right, next we have 1940. On this day, September 13th, in 1940, Buckingham Palace is damaged by German bombs. I didn't know it got hit during the war, but it's not surprising. They were bombing London on a regular basis. And remember earlier I mentioned Ammon Goth, who was killed for stealing state property? Well, let's see now. On this day, September 13 in 1944, now he was executed in 1946 for stealing. But in 1944, he is removed as the head of the Krakow concentration camp by the SS for stealing state property. Oh, well, got what you deserved. All right. Let's go to 1955. On this day, Swiss inventor George de Mestral is granted a patent for what would become known as Velcro. That's all the way back in 1955. Now we jump to 1961. On this day, an unmanned Mercury Atlas IV rocket is launched into Earth orbit. That was the first Mercury rocket, and of course, the Mercury program went forward. And next, we have 1965 on this day, the Today Show's first totally color broadcast was today, September 13th, 1965. Let's go to some baseball history. On this day in 1965, Willie Mays' 500th home run was he was for the New York. He was with the New York Giants, and it was their 11th straight win. 500th home run for Willie Mays. All right, let's jump to 1969. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You by Hanna-Barbera debuts on CBS in the United States. Ah, yes, I grew up watching Scooby-Doo as well. 1969, I was there. Okay, next we've got 1971. Nikita Khrushchev, Soviet premier, is buried in Moscow in 1971. Next, we go to 1973. On this day, ABC announces it obtained the TV rights for the 1976 Olympics. And this is in 1973. They got the contract for the TV rights for the 76 Olympics. Right on. Hey, do you remember ABC Wide World of Sports, where that guy used to wipe out off of the ski jump every week? Yeah, that was ABC. It's too bad they lost their contract after a while, but they were on for many years. Okay, this is a good one. In 1977, on this day, the first TV viewer discretion warning is given to a sitcom named Soap. Do you remember that series, Soap? I do. And it had some pretty risque stuff in there. And so this is the first TV show that they gave out a viewer discretion warning before the show Soap would come on. Interesting. All right, let's go. Still, 1977, General Motors introduces the first diesel auto, and it was the Oldsmobile 88. So now GM and others had many trucks that were diesel, but the first United States diesel automobile was the Olds 88 for diesel back in 77. All right. Well, the first F-18A Hornets flight was on this day in 1978. Still in use today, the F-18. All right. This next one I thought was pretty interesting. In 1981, a lady by the name of April Moon sets the woman's hand bow distance record. That's a bow and arrow, right? 1,039 yards and 13 inches. That's 3/4 of a mile. 1,039 yards. Wow, impressive. I'd like to know where they did this test, where they could shoot an arrow 3/4 of a mile up in the air, not hit a bird or something. I don't know, or someone walking by. That's a long distance. All right, 1985 now. Today, in 1985, Super Mario Brothers game first appears, created by Shigeru Miyamoto at Nintendo. Still in use on this day. Actually, the movie just came out, Super Mario Brothers. It's not bad, actually, for an animation. All right, let's go to 1987. An element called cesium 137. Cesium is spelled Cesium. Cesium 137 was stolen from an abandoned hospital in Rio de Janeiro. Now, cesium 137, I looked it up, and it's a byproduct of fusion or fission with uranium 235. So it's a very radioactive material, and it was stolen back in 87. What was it doing in an abandoned hospital in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil? That's crazy. All right, who out there thinks they were in great shape when they were young men or women and could do a lot of push-ups? This next guy, in 1987, Paul Lynch of Great Britain does 32,573 push-ups in 24 hours. Woo-wee! Man, I did a lot of push-ups, but that's crazy.
P3PDO.
Hey, there's a wayward son. VE3 PDL. Come on in, Paul.
Good evening, Chuck. I was listening along for the last 10 minutes, which is unusual for me for the on this day. But yeah, I figured I'd let you run with it for a bit before I jumped in. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure I threw a bean in the pot there this time because I forget sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely there, Paul. Welcome to the net, and thanks for remembering and checking in. We're a little bit lighter on check-ins this week than we were last week, but we're still doing pretty good. Get this, I was just thinking about this a little while ago, and last week was the 30-year anniversary of the AREG, and I got 31 check-ins on that night. So it's pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah, right on. That's cool.
Because 30 years had already passed. We completed the 30 years, and that would have been the first night of the year 31. And I got 31 check ins. So that's the way I look at it. So that was pretty cool. But tonight, you're check in number 18. So that's not too shabby. We got a whole whack that came in and said hello on YouTube. Uh, a lot of people that can't make it in on their radios. And so, not too shabby tonight as well. So, uh, yay, everyone. So, everything okay with you and the family there, Paul?
Yes, sir. My roommate's got to go in and have a procedure done and some chemo and stuff. So, yeah, everything's looking good though, and fingers crossed. Hope everything goes okay with him. Other than that, everything's tickety boo over here. I got me and Mickey pulled down my extended pole there that I had my G5 RV on, and that wicked wind that pulled my antenna down, and then another wicked wind that pulled it down even further. Well, I got the antenna pretty much on the ground, and got the mast poles all down. I'm gonna redo it and make it stronger, sturdier, and use a better parachute cord, or whatever
Yeah.
for it. Because last time I just used that yellow twine stuff, and it lasted for like 5 years, but the weather beat it up and it came down. So I want to use something a little better this time.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Yeah, I've used that yellow boat rope, and like you say, that what happens is the UV kills it because it changes color. It goes from yellow and it goes to white, and then it just starts disintegrating, and that's what kills it. So when my G5 RV came down this spring, there, I bought some Dacron. I mean, I paid close to $40 for it, but hey, it's pretty much guaranteed to do the job for longer.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm going to get for it. So I got to drill some holes in the mast poles and slide one inside the other and throw a bolt in it and yada yada.
I would put 2 bolts in case one snaps. Just saying, because I've done that and I had the bolt snap inside. Anyways, just something to think about. All right, Paul. Well, say hello to the missus for me, and sorry we couldn't make it to your party there, my friend, but I'm sure a good time was had by all.
Yeah, no problem there, Chuck. And Leanne's right here and heard you. Go ahead, hon.
E3LLW.
There you go. Another check-in.
VE3LLW. Thank you very much, Leanne. You are in the log as well. Geez, it's been a while since I put you down in the log, but nonetheless, there you are. Check-in number 19. Thanks, my dear. I hope your leg is feeling better and everything is going your way.
Yep, she said thank you, and right back at you. All right, Chuck, I'll let you get back to it. It's 10 o'clock here, I just noticed, and I'm going to go find something to watch on the Idiot Box. So thanks for being there and doing the net. Always a good job, sir, and we'll talk to you probably tomorrow. V3PDL.
All right. Hey, I don't know if you heard, but Larry, LBI, was saying that Mac is checking in and saying hello on the ZOE repeater sometime between 11 and 12 in the morning from France through Echolink. They got it set up there, and I missed him today. Apparently, he checked in around, I don't know, 11:20 or 11:30 this morning. But I wasn't at the radio. So just to let you know, if you want to keep an ear out for Mac, and you may want to say hi.
Very good. I'll make a mental note.
All right. Okay then, Paul. Well, thanks again, and we'll talk to you again soon, my friend. Take care. So we'll break with VE3 Papa Delta Lima and VE3 Lima Lima Whiskey. And let's see if there are any other last minute check ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ. Alrighty then. So let's finish up with our on this day in history. And where did we go here? Where's the list? There it is. We're getting near the end here, actually. Okay, we were at the push-ups. Oh yeah, 32,573 push-ups in 24 hours back in 1987. Paul Lynch. Way to go. I'd like to see what that guy looks like. All right, so let's jump to 1988 now. Gilbert is measured the strongest hurricane ever in the Western Hemisphere. And the barometer reading was 26.13. Now, we normally see the barometer at around 100. So that gives you an idea how much barometric pressure there was. And so that was in 1988, Gilbert. Okay, let's go to 1991 now. A 55-ton concrete beam falls in Montreal's Olympic Stadium. Wow. I remember going there, or was it when I went to La Ronde in early 70s there. I think it was before the Montreal Olympic Stadium. All right. 1994 on this day, the space probe Ulysses passes through the south pole of the sun. Or no, it doesn't pass through. It passes the south pole of the sun. It would be history. Burnt up. Bye-bye. Okay. 1997 on this day, Mother Teresa's state funeral is held in India. So she passed away in 97, and she was buried on this day. Her state funeral was on this day. 1999 on this day, John Elway's number 7 jersey is retired by the Denver Broncos. Back in 1999. All right, now, I didn't mention this earlier, but it is September 13th, 2 days after September 11th. And if you may remember, all air traffic was brought to a standstill, and many flights were diverted to Newfoundland. And so Newfoundland took in people they've never met before during the September 11 attacks. And so on this day, 2 days later, in 2001, civilian aircraft traffic resumes in the United States after the September 11 attacks. So for a couple of days, we played host to many people, and very thankful for it too. I'm hearing. All right, so let's go to 2003 now. On this day, British rock singer Mike Smith from the Dave Clark 5 fractures his spine falling while trying to enter his home after locking himself out. He becomes permanently paralyzed from the waist down. Ooh. I know a guy that died shortly after we graduated grade 12, and he fell off a ladder. He wasn't very high even. It was like a step ladder or whatever, and broke his neck, killed him. And so, yeah, that was a sobering moment. All right, so let's go to 2000. This is the second last one. In 2012, 19 people are killed after a freight elevator crashes from 100 meters in Wuhan, China. Oh, dear. So, you fall 300 feet, and when you land, things don't end well. So 19 people are killed after a freight elevator crashes. 100 meters. Okay, so we'll end off with this little oddball story. In 2018, Amazon live streams Thursday Night Football. That was the first. Cincinnati beats Baltimore 34-23. First all-female broadcast booth in NFL history. Andrea Kremer calls the game with Hannah Storm. And there you have it. That is on this day in history. I hope you were all entertained as much as I was in researching it and copying it down and repeating it all back to you tonight. And so, do we have any questions, any comments, or check-ins, last-minute check-ins for this evening's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ. All right. Well, I guess we're going to wrap it up. It is 10:08 p.m. I've got to get the garbage ready, get the grass bag out front. And once again, let's see if we have anyone who'd like to make a comment or an announcement or anything like that. Please come down before we wrap things up.
I'm just going to say 7-3 here, Chuck. Good night. I forced myself to stay awake all that time. I'm going to just close my eyes. Good night, and have a good day tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Okay, sweet dreams there, my friend. Take care, Rick. Anyone else out there with a comment or question or anything like that before we close? Alrighty then. So that's it. That's a wrap. Tonight, on week 1565, we got 19 check-ins. That's combining everyone on YouTube as well as on the radio. And so I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who checked in. And I really appreciate it week after week. It's really fun talking to you all, finding out what's going on with you, and being part of the amateur radio community. And so with that, I'd like to say 7-3 and have a great rest of the evening. Until next time, this is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu saying so long.